And now we'll just get started with Coach Heupel. Coach, if maybe you could share with us how things have been going and how your team has been enjoying the Valley of the Sun since we last spoke.
Yeah, just absolutely been a great experience for our players. All the team activities have been a lot of fun. An opportunity for our kids to get a chance to see a different part of the country than what they've experienced, and have really enjoyed it. And as it's getting closer to kickoff, I know they're excited about the opportunity to go play a great opponent as well.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions. If you do have a question, if you could please raise your hand and let us get a mic to you, and then please identify yourself and your outlet as well. We'll start here on the far left, second row.
Matt Rochelle, Orlando Sentinel. Josh, Greg McCray, walk-on. His story obviously is well known. He's such a humble guy. He doesn't like talking about himself. What stands out to you about Greg and what he's been able to do this year?
Yeah, if you ask Greg, he's probably going to start talking about all the other backs that are playing in the backfield with him. Just a remarkable story. When we got here, got a chance to see him play a little bit the previous year on tape. But since we started our off-season activities, he's a guy that has absolutely been the same guy every single day. Just as far as his energy when he walks into the building, his focus and his preparation. You go into the weight room, he's a guy that's going to be about his business every single day. You go out into the meeting room, he's dialed in, he's focused. I think that's a big key to his success. You look at how he delivers our blockers to the second level, his ability to create some of those open lanes and then make people miss, obviously, from there. But he has a great understanding of what we're doing offensively, our run schemes versus the fronts that he is seeing them against, and has great patience. And I think, you add all those things up, that's why he plays at an elite level and has had such a great year.
Front row here on the right.
Hi, Ryan Murphy, Black, Gold, Man, Red. Coach, talk about the matchup in the trenches and the assignments you guys have to do against their offensive line and really their defensive line on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think the line of scrimmage will be a big part of whoever's going to win this football game. Their defensive line is big and thick inside, play multiple fronts, but has the ability off the edge to really get after the passer as well when they get into some of their third down packages. For us, it's been about having balance offensively the entire year. We have to be able to run the football. We got to do a great job of handling some of the one-on-one matchups in our run game up front, and got to continue to pound it, for 4 quarters, and understand that you're not going to bust it open early in the football game necessarily against them. You got to continue to be great on your double teams, and then our backs have to do a great job of being vertical in their run assignments. Their offensive line, we have to stop the run. It's something that's going to be critical in this football game. I think, for us, it's important that we start fast in all 3 phases of the game. But I think defensively, again, starting fast in this one, having great integrity as far as our gap assignments, and being able to punish the run game a little bit is going to be critical for us. They do a good job of creating angles in their run game. I think their tight ends are a big part of their run game as well, and then we got to stop the quarterback in the run game.
Last row here on the right.
Coach, look at your expected news of Orlando. You preached the 1-0 velocity all season long, and the guys have really taken that to heart. Now you're seeing it. Matt tweeted yesterday, we're 1-0, making them out and everything. Just for you, I know it's a common phrase to say, but where did that originate, and how much pride do you take in your guys really embracing this philosophy, not just in football, but in everything they do?
Well, I think we take a lot of pride in the buy-in that we've gotten from our players. A big part of that is giving them a voice in how we structured things coming in January, and to try to create the type of energy, the atmosphere that we want inside of our building every single day. And I think you got to give kids ownership in that. That's why you hear them talk the way that they do. They believe in what we're doing. It was unique in taking over a football team that had the success they had the previous year. How are we going to create buy-in? How are we going to get them to focus on the things that matter? We knew we were going to get everybody's best shot throughout the course of this season. We needed to control the things that we needed, that we can control. And for us, the 1-0 mantra, it's about during the course of the season too, but you mentioned it with DJ here, just what he tweeted out yesterday, but it really came down to our preparation every single day, and that started in January. And so that was one of the goals that our players set before them, and they bought into it.
Front row here on the right.
Coach Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. For those of us that haven't seen your team on a day-to-day basis, What was the toughest part of the transition, you and the coaching staff coming in, and what was the easiest part of the transition?
Easiest part is the love, the brotherhood that existed inside of our locker room. When we got there in December and started to get to know our players as they started coming to my office and just having conversations with them, it's one of the things that they talked about, and it's a huge key to our success. They love being around each other. They love playing together and play for one another and have a great team chemistry, and that's been really important. The hardest part, I think it's whenever you take over a program, it's about creating a culture and creating a buy-in on that culture. And so we had to do a great job of explaining why we were doing everything in our program, from the way we trained, the way we ate, what we were doing in our football philosophies in all three phases of the game. We had to explain the why, and because we did a decent job of that, I think we had great buy-in early in the process, and that was important for us, you know, in January and February, getting us kick-started in the spring ball and each phase as it unfolded from there.
Now on the right here, back riser.
Michael Cottle, WRC-TV at Baton Rouge. Josh, I know they looked at your Missouri tape when you guys played when you were there 2 years ago. Have you checked that tape to see kind of, flashbacks of what that looks to run? And are there any comparable teams that you faced since meetings?
Yeah, I think, at Missouri, that tape was from our first year there, taking over an offense, and our skilled players, our offensive line were so different. There's some similarities to that, but there's a lot of differences as well. And from our run game to what we do, we're more multiple because we're further into our offensive schemes than what we were at Missouri in year one there. So, there's some similarities, but I think it's, dramatically different because the personnel is so different across the board for both football teams.
Second row here on the left.
Yeah, Coach, what do you think you guys' success has meant, not just to UCF fans, but Central Florida and Orlando in general?
Well, the marketing brand, from Danny when I was in the interview process was, Orlando's hometown team. I think the success that we've had over the last couple of years has driven and created a ton of excitement surrounding our program. We have become the hometown team, and we take a lot of pride in that. But I think there's been a ton of exposure throughout the southeast area of the country in particular. It's affected the way we're able to go out and recruit. You look at our stadium. I've played or coached in the Pac-12, Big 12, and the SEC conferences. There's not a better game day environment than when you walk out of our tunnel and onto that football field. We have a young, passionate, energetic fan base that is extremely excited about the future of this program, and we are as coaches as well.
Go over here on the far right and back.
Hey, Coach John Ducey, WABTV in Baton Rouge. Talking to your players yesterday, they said that tempo was obviously a big part of what you do. You really dialed it up a notch from last year as far as the tempo goes. How does that play to your favor, especially when the team may be depleted when it comes to their numbers defensively?
At the end of the day, tempo is a form of a weapon for us to try to create an advantage during the course of play. It's not what we rely exclusively on, but it certainly is a big part of what we do. For us, we're trying to create matchups, and in doing that, trying to tilt the advantage in our favor at the line of scrimmage and try to get people out of position.
Over here on the far left.
Coach Joe Kepner with WFTV in Orlando. You watched those semifinal games yesterday. Notre Dame obviously didn't put up much of a fight. Do you think your team could have been more competitive against Clemson in that one?
I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of the playoffs. I caught a little bit of the Notre Dame game, the second half right there, and caught some clips of the last one last night. We're confident in who and what we are as a football program, and believe, in our track record, what's happened here the last couple of years. At the end of the day, our kids are really just focused on the football game that's before us in a couple of days. We're playing a great opponent. They have great players in all three phases of their game, and we're looking forward to that opportunity.
Third row on the right.
Coach Jason Beatty, 24/7 Sports with UCF. How is playing in a New 6 Bowl like this impact recruiting and the message to some of the guys you know?
Again, you're on the biggest stage, in college football. You get an opportunity to continue to create a brand. Your logo is going to continue to be recognized coast to coast. I think it's an opportunity for guys that we're recruiting to see that we're going to play against great opponents and play on the biggest stages, and they're going to have an opportunity to go chase and do everything that they want to in college football.
Back row on the left.
Hi, Sam from Arizona PBS Chronicle News. What do you think has allowed this team to carry over last year's success to this year?
Again, I talked about it earlier in the press conference. I think the culture that resides inside of our locker room is extremely important. The relationships that our coaching staff were able to form, spend a ton of time with our players outside of the game of football, having an opportunity just to get to know who and what they are as people. And I think those relationships will allow you that when you instruct and coach on the football side of it, they know that it's just not about football. And I think they take the coaching in a different way. And so, we put ourselves in a position to handle adversity because of the relationships that we have. We're all in sync, we're all on the same page, and when you get 125 kids and coaching staff doing that, going in one direction, you have an opportunity to be extremely successful.
Back on the right, riser.
Coach, can you speak to the confidence you have in Daryl? Excuse me. And the importance of him in the regular season start as well as that big stage start in the conference championship?
Yeah, I do think the opportunity that he had against East Carolina to get his start under his belt before he came in replacement of McKenzie against USF in the game on Thanksgiving right there was critical in his development. He had purpose in his preparation before the East Carolina start. He had urgency, but I think it went to another level, understanding that it's tough to go out there and be successful and play at a championship level. He didn't start for another 3-4 games there, but had great focus and preparation and continued to improve. I think you see the way we've called it offensively the last couple of weeks with him being our starter. We have great confidence in him as coaching staff. We put the ball in his hands, allow him to go make plays as a passer, and in the run game, you can see handling the adversity of the conference championship game, being down, things not going perfect early. He had a great look and confidence in his eye. The guys around him believed in him and continued to compete, and that's why you're able to come back and win a championship.
Any other questions? Right here on the far left, third row.
Jenna Lee, UCF. You've been around this team since you were a child, going to your father's practices and being with them. Where does this season and this team rank for you, just in your experience around this game?
It's as much fun as I've had coaching the game, because we do have great energy inside of our locker room. Best part of my day, every single day, is when I get an opportunity to go work with our players. I believe it is the best part of their day too. The run that we've been on has been a lot of fun. Enjoy working with our coaching staff every single day. Got a great group of guys that are about the right things. They're great coaches, they're great teachers, but they're great men in life that are impacting our young people, our players in a positive way. This has been a fantastic run, and as fun as I've ever had in the ball game.
Back row on the left.
What do you think is the legacy of the senior class, considering this team was really less than 4 years ago?
It is. This program won, I think, 6 conference championships in 11 years too. This place, I say it's the 1 year anomaly. You know what I mean? The 1 year that was an outlier. This program has had a tremendous amount of success over the last decade, in part because of where we're located and the ability to recruit great players. And you look at the success of our university and the upward trend of our university. It's one of the most unique and intriguing stories in college football, in my opinion. How young this program is, but yet the amount of success that it's had. 3 New Year's 6 bowl games in the last 5 or 6 years, I believe. 6 conference championships in the last 11. It's the second largest university in the United States of America. The degree that our players are walking out with is very empowering. I think the legacy of this senior class is the legacy of being able to handle adversity, creating a great culture where it's about the process and loving their teammates and being able to go and chase and win championships.
Let's get our next question here on the left.
Coach, what has Mackenzie Milton's impact been on preparation for your team, having him here this week? And then also, one of your assistant coaches mentioned yesterday he believes Milton will play football again. Is that a universal belief among the coaching staff?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind KZ will be back on the football field playing at a really high level. Traumatic injury. Everybody across the country saw that, when it happened. he's got a bunch of hurdles to still clear to get back on the football field. But everything that is unfolded has pretty much been best case scenario. He's well on his way back to rehabbing and getting better and being in a position to, eventually get back on the football field. Him being here, he's a big part of who and what we are as a program. He's been a leader for us since I got here in January. He was a big part of creating the buy-in. Him inside of our meeting room has been beneficial to DJ, to Quadri, and to Hayden. He's had some impact on the game plan as far as what we're doing schematically. He's been engaged, been involved in the process. And then him being able to be out here and sharing this experience is important because he's a big part of our success this season. He's been with our medical staff a lot, getting a lot of treatment, but been able to be out on the practice field with us, typically riding around in a golf cart, but being engaged in the entire process for us. So it's been a lot of fun having him here.